2017 redraft, because it was the first draft I actually watched televised when I was in NBA basketball. Just fun fact. Because
that's fun.
Yeah, I didn't get into basketball until like 2015.
Right when the Rockets got good.
Yeah.
Perfect time for you.
So I was a Rockets bandwagon. Now I'm a Rockets fan because I watched their turmoil. It's great.
Yeah. Now you can officially say you were not just there for the bandwagon.
Okay. So I'm going to pull up the NBA 2017 draft on Basketball Reference. Just give me 1 second here.
Fun fact. Alpha Kaba went 60th in that draft to the Atlanta Hawks. He never played a game.
Yeah,
he's from France.
I looked at the name. I was like, the fuck is that name?
Alpha Kaba.
Alpha Kaba. I would have loved that. If he was like a star,
that's a hell of a name.
That's an amazing name. Oh my God. Amazing name.
6'10", 242 pounds. Oh, this guy would have been, his jersey would have went platinum.
Yeah.
That's sick.
Alpha Kaba.
Alpha Kaba, if you're watching this, shout out to you. We hope you're doing well.
Shout out to you. All right. So we've got the top 20 here. So from Harry Giles to Markel Fultz. All right, Dietrich. You go first. So who are you picking as the first overall pick for 2017 as the GM for the Philadelphia 76ers?
I think this one's pretty easy. There's a decent amount of guys you can go with here, but give me Jason Tatum out of Duke University.
Tatum. Absolutely. Tatum.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's my pick, too.
There's no debate there. I think people were a little shocked when Boston took him at 3. I remember him being rated a little lower than that, but it's clearly turned out very well for them, seeing that he's their franchise centerpiece, likely for the next 10 years or so. So, not much else to say there. I mean, give me Tatum.
Yeah. I mean, Danny Ainge knew something was cooking with this guy.
He does it again. It's unbelievable.
He does
how
it
the guy
again.
Does it.
He's so good. He pisses off New York so much. It's great.
I love it. I think it's great.
Brian's not here, so I can show the New York Knicks.
This is my Super Bowl right now. I can talk about the Knicks openly.
Yeah.
And my hatred
So,
for them.
I would pick Jason Tatum as well. I mean, made the conference final as a rookie without Kyrie, without Gordon Hayward. I mean, those are the top 2 players on the team that were going to take you to the finals, and they were both of them were out pretty much. And then they're like, oh shit, what do we do? Tatum, Brown, Marcus Smart, Terry Rozier. Like, it was a great team led by Tatum, because Tatum was not going to drift away from the spotlight when he was playing LeBron one-on-one. Did you remember that poster in front of LeBron?
I was watching it live, absolutely.
Oh my God.
That scared me. Because I'm like, oh my God, they might
actually win.
Yeah. They were one game away from beating the Cavs and going to play the Warriors. They were probably not going to win the finals because the Warriors were the Warriors.
Yeah.
But I was just very impressed with that kid from very early on, especially in that Eastern Conference Finals. So hats off.
It's going to be a stud. It's going to be a stud.
Yeah.
All right. Second overall pick. Of course, it was Lonzo Ball. He went to the Los Angeles Lakers because Magic Johnson loves them point guards when he was the owner at the time. Loves them point guards, especially if they can pass. Fortunately, Lonzo Ball is no longer playing in the NBA. I'm going to call it now. Thanks to a bunch of injuries and his ZO2 shoes. And he would have been a top 5 pick if he was healthy his whole career. But Lonzo Ball, second overall pick. If you were Magic Johnson, even though I know you aren't, but if you were Magic Johnson, who would you pick?
Whew, okay. Definitely a couple guys you can go with here. Try not to overthink it too much. I will take Mr. Donovan Mitchell from the University of Louisville.
Okay, Donovan Mitchell. Okay. So you're going to be totally cool with, like, KCP not being on the team? Because Donovan Mitchell's a shooting guard.
I can work with that.
So KCP is going to get a 3-year deal and sit on the bench.
Sure.
Ride the pine.
He's not Donovan Mitchell to me. I don't know.
I understand that. But if they took Donovan Mitchell, here's the thing. Because like, you got to figure out, what do they need the most? They needed a point guard, right?
Right.
So you got to figure out what's best for the team, not what's the best player for the team.
Yes and no. I don't know. Like, obviously, looking at how they've their careers have panned out, it's easy to just say, like, this was the best player available at this time. They should have just taken this guy. But, yeah, fit's another big thing to factor in when you're talking about one of these.
That's why I chose De'Aaron Fox.
Really?
De'Aaron Fox.
Okay.
I chose De'Aaron Fox. It was between 2 or 3. Mitchell or De'Aaron Fox. I'm like, the Lakers needed a point guard at the time. And De'Aaron Fox lit up in his first year.
He did, yeah.
All rookie first team.
And he actually beat Lonzo Ball. His Kentucky Wildcats beat Lonzo Ball's UCLA Bruins pretty convincingly in the March Madness tournament, which I thought was going to raise his draft stock even more. But it appears that Magic Johnson got too excited by the balls, you know.
He also beat Lonzo Ball handsomely and convincingly in their first rookie season in the NBA when they were pit against each other. He was toying with Lonzo Ball. Was already a really good player, just didn't have the right pieces to fit around him when he was in Sacramento. But of course, now we have a formidable Sacramento team. You know, we got the duo of Sabonis and Fox. But I think that Fox would have been really good with the Lakers. I feel like then they probably would have reconsidered their decision to sign LeBron. But then you have Fox being a really good spot-up shooter. He's a good spot-up shooter. He can get in the lane and float it. He's also very quick and agile. He doesn't need to be a primary ball handler. He can be a secondary ball handler. I would put him in the shooting guard if you had LeBron signed to the team.
If they still get LeBron on the Lakers, you mean? Yeah.
I think they would still go after LeBron. It was already like set, like it was already done and set, like right after, like in the midway point of the 2017-18 season, that LeBron was going to LA because his son, switched schools. So I already think it was a done deal, even before like the playoffs happened. I think it would have been really cool. It would have been LeBron. It would have been KCP, De'Aaron Fox. I would say LeBron at the point guard, De'Aaron Fox shooting guard, KCP as a small forward, even though it's a bit undersized. You had Kyle Kuzma. You had, and then of course the center, I believe was Julius Randle.
Yeah, coming off of his broken leg in his first career game, I believe.
You're forgetting Brandon Ingram. I'm forgetting Brandon Ingram. I forgot about that.
B.I.
Brandon Ingram.
Oh, wow. Yeah, before the Pelicans deal for Anthony Davis, yeah.
Yeah, so I probably would have put him at the 4, Brandon Ingram at the power forward, since you have KCP at the small forward. You got to fit De'Aaron Fox in there somewhere.
That's a squad, though, man.
It's a squad.
Makes you think, like, I know they needed AD to end up winning that title, but it makes you think, like, what would happen?
But they would have kept De'Aaron Fox for sure if they brought in AD.
Absolutely.
They would have, yeah.
That'd been dangerous.
Yeah, that's why De'Aaron Fox is my second overall pick in this draft.
With the Fox, baby.
Yeah. All right. Third overall pick was Jason Tatum. Obviously, we picked him first overall together, but it went to Jason Tatum. So, if you're the Boston Celtics, Andy, and Jason Tatum was swiped out of your hands by the Sixers, who do you got next?
See, this one's tough. I'm trying to think of the state of the Boston Celtics at this point because they weren't a bad team.
They were not a bad team. They made the conference finals or semifinals the year prior.
In 2016.
2016, 2017. I believe they made the conference finals.
Let me double check that. You might be right. No, they lost in the 2016 playoffs. They lost to get the Hawks.
Hawks.
First round.
Okay. Yeah.
But they did win 48 games and finished as a 5 seed, which isn't bad considering.
No, 2017. 2017 playoffs, not 2016.
Oh, so the year after, when they had Tatum. No. Yes.
No, it's Tatum played 2017, 2018.
You're right. They lost in the Cavs in the Eastern Conference Finals because I was at one of those games. I am stupid.
Wait, 2017 playoffs?
Yeah, I was at the game where the Cavs. There was the one game the Cavs lost actually.
Oh, okay.
I think I believe it was Terry Rozier had a go-ahead 3 with like 5 seconds left or something like that.
Yeah. So they were in the same spot as they were.
Jay Crowder.
Fuck.
Gerald Green, I think, was on that team too.
Yeah. 4-finger Jalen Green.
Well,
4-fingered.
All right. So I'm gonna say it. Give me Bam Adebayo.
Bam Adebayo. Okay. Power forward / small center. Can shoot from the elbow pretty well.
Well,
decent on defense.
Yeah, my thinking here is that like they're imagining Isaiah Thomas is like not going to like mess his hip up beyond comprehension and actually be back to play and stuff. So they feel like they're good at him being point guard, and I guess Avery Bradley was still good back then at the shooting guard position. I don't know. I feel like Bam's defensive presence and he can. I just think he's a better option than Al Horford. I know they're not going to immediately give him minutes over Al Horford, but I don't know if they saw Al Horford as a long-term option to, be a sidekick to whoever their next budding superstar is going to be. What do you think about that? Who did you have there, though?
I had OG Anunoby.
What?
Yeah, I did. I had OG. Because here's the thing. They made the Western Conference or Eastern Conference Finals. Yeah. Right? Isaiah Thomas goes out with a hip injury. They look. You mentioned you're not sure if the Celtics predicted that, obviously, but like in the offseason, he was still out with that hip injury, and they were trying to figure out how to get rid of him, right? So they lose Tatum. They need to find a small forward still because they have Jaylen Brown as a shooting guard, right? They have Kyrie Irving. They trade for Kyrie Irving.
They will get Kyrie Irving.
They will get Kyrie Irving. They signed Gordon Hayward, but of course he got injured the first year, so they're trying to bring him back slowly. OG Anunoby is a small forward. They needed a small forward. And I feel like it's just a match made in heaven for them. I mean, yeah, it took a while for OG just to start off slow, but it's because he was on a team that was already playoff bound. You see, because he wasn't really given that much minutes because of DeMar DeRozan, Kyle Lowry, who else was on that team, small forward and power forward. I know you had Jonas Valanciunas.
Patrick Patterson was still on the team.
Patrick Patterson, I feel like,
maybe.
Yeah, but yeah, I feel like OG and Anunoby would have gotten because of the fact that they had Gordon Hayward and Kyrie Irving injured from most. He would pretty much have more of a chance to prove himself. And Danny Ainge could see right through that and be like, oh, wow, he's got definitely star potential. We already have Jaylen Brown, who's emerging and getting better each year as a budding co-star. I'm going with Anunoby.
I see the logic. The logic makes perfect sense. He's a long, lanky defender that you could definitely plug in and kind of, he's a defensive presence. The guy steals and forces turnovers like there's no tomorrow. We can clearly see that now. It just feels like a bit of a reach to me still with the rest of the talent on the board. The logic does make perfect sense. And if Boston was drafting like a couple more picks down, I think that's the perfect pick for them. It does make sense that he goes there. But with the amount of talent you still have left on the board, it's interesting. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that would have been.
You're a GM who picks talent. I'm a person who picks fit on a team with talent.
And yet we're both still better than Michael Jordan's tenure with the Hornets. That's good. Good for us.
Oh, man. No, I guarantee you, if I was a real GM, I would be fucking picking a draft bust. I wouldn't know what the fuck I'm doing.
I would have picked Anthony Bennett.
Really?
Probably not, but I would have done something as catastrophic.
Did the Cavs need, was he power forward?
He was more of a power forward.
Yeah. Did the Cavs need a power forward at that time? They just had Kyrie, really, and like Deion Waiters.
So that was like the Kyrie, Deion Waiters, Ramon Sessions, Baron Davis.
Baron, okay. I could see why they would need a power forward. Was Mo Williams still on the team?
No, he was gone. He only stayed, I think, 1 year post LeBron.
Okay. Got it.
So we had one of the worst Zeller bros. We had Tyler Zeller too. We picked him pretty high up in the one draft. Tristan Thompson. There you go.
Hey, Tristan Thompson. Hey,
so
there you go.
Looking for somebody that's not named Zeller to play a big man position and swinging a miss.
Swinging a big fat miss. He swung at a 60-mile-an-hour changeup that you thought was a 90-mile-an-hour fastball. Like that's how bad y'all swung.
Yeah, we still got a title though. I'm happy.
Yeah. Thanks to LeBron. All right, we're going to the fourth overall pick.
Yep.
This goes to the Phoenix Suns, and they chose Josh Jackson, who initially was going to be really good. I thought. I mean, I played 2K17 and 18. I was like, this guy, my career, he's a good little rookie star against my career player.
Yeah.
Does alley-oops, makes his 3-pointers sometimes. Yeah, but no, thanks to the Mary Jane, he's out of the league.
The Mary Jane.
Yeah, he's out of the league. I call it the Mary Jane. Hey, we're trying to be a little bit PG-13 here. I'm not going to say the drugs.
You're right. Yeah, cut the nuts.
Yeah, some girl named Mary Jane took him away and never brought him back.
Kids, if you're watching this, your parents keep the alcohol on the top shelf behind the fridge.
Damn, why you gotta be so like blunt about that? Come on, man.
They have to learn how I learned, man. Okay, some weird guy telling them that, and then.
Oh, jeez.
Anyways, to the Phoenix Suns. This is where I had De'Aaron Fox going. Yeah. I think they wanted to. I mean, who was their point guard at this point? Eric Bledsoe alongside Devin Booker.
I believe, yeah, Bledsoe. So I feel like they wouldn't need one. They wouldn't need a point guard.
You know, I think that's fair. At the same time, I feel like I don't know if they think that Bledsoe is the answer. Like, is that the backcourt of the future? Is him and Booker? Obviously, they didn't here since they took Josh Jackson, who is not a point guard. Didn't pan out well, but I don't know. I guess up and down the board, I think that would be, in terms of just talent-wise and how high he was ranked and stuff like that, I think they would take Swipa there. I'm interested to see what you have because we are going on two very different paths right now. I'm very curious to see what's going on here.
So, because of the fact that Josh Jackson was sort of a small forward / power forward, and he was sort of on the higher side of small forward, I'm going Bam Adebayo.
See, I thought you were going to take Donovan Mitchell here.
Nope.
Because if I didn't take him before,
they've got Devin Booker. Why would they need Donovan Mitchell?
He can move one of them to the
dude is 6'2", bro, 6'2", and he's a shooting guard. He's not going to be a small forward, and neither is Devin Booker. Booker's what, like 6'4", 6'5"?
Donovan Mitchell's not 6'2", is he?
He's short, dude.
Do I not know my star player that well?
Or 6'3".
He's 6'1". Oh, wow.
6'1". Yeah, he's short, dude. He is short. Okay.
This guy does not know ball, guys. My bad.
He's a shorty, so he's not going to be like if he's on the Phoenix Suns playing a shooting guard, you're going to have that same like plan, that like game plan alignment that they did with like Goran Dragic, Isaiah Thomas, and Eric Bledsoe on the court. Complete nightmare. Do not want that again. I'm taking Bam because who is their power forward? I honestly don't know.
Tyson Chandler was their center.
Was Tyson Chandler on the team still, I believe? So, yeah. Yeah, no. Dragan Bender?
Yeah, they took him the year before.
Yeah. They're definitely taking Bam Adebayo to replace Dragan Bender, who's a fucking bust. Absolute bust.
Now I'm seeing your reasoning.
Yeah. Okay, that's why I'm picking Bam Adebayo. He can space the floor inside the 3-point line. He's a good defender. They'll probably not take Ayton at number 1 if they chose Bam, because Bam Adebayo had a good rookie season in his first year. Really good rookie season.
Yeah, he did.
So chances are the Suns would have been a better team with Bam on the floor, because they gave Dragan Bender a lot of minutes the next year, like a lot of minutes.
They're like, please,
please make threes, even though that's all you can do. Please make threes.
Come on, do something. Man.
And then he ended up not making much threes anymore after his first year, and all he could fucking do. So yeah, I'm taking Bam Adebayo, number 4.
Okay, well thought out, Mr. Gretzer. Thank you.
I thought of this in 5 minutes. I don't know why. I just feel like this is a a draft list that I have been very, very knowledgeable about for some reason. I just like it. I think it's because it's the first draft I watched televised that I watched for the first time.
Oh yeah.
So I like focused on it very, very hard. So.
Good memories then.
Yeah. All right. Number 5?
Sacramento.
They
originally took Swipa. So they don't need a center, obviously.
No,
they have DeMarcus Cousins.
At the time. Yeah.
Small forward, don't they have both Tyreek and Rudy Gay?
Hold on a second. Didn't they trade DeMarcus Cousins in the offseason, or did they trade him?
Was it before that year or after that year?
I believe it was in the offseason because they took a little while to gel AD and Cousins until they finally got it together, and they were the Twin Towers of New Orleans until Cousins tore his Achilles. That was in February.
Sacramento.
So I believe they traded him away.
2017-18 seasons, DeMarcus Cousins on their team.
It is? He is?
No, he is not.
He's not. Yeah, he got traded.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's something. Oh, God. I'm looking at the rest of their team right now. Vince Carter, Zach Randolph, Costa Kufos, Willie Cauley-Stein.
Costa Kufos. Oh, my gosh.
Willie
Cauley-Stein. He had some upside at the time.
Well, yeah, no, they definitely still believed in him.
Yeah.
It seemed like they were mainly going building with like Buddy Hield and, well, they obviously picked De'Aaron Fox and stuff like that. So
yeah, who was their point guard?
De'Aaron Fox.
Before De'Aaron Fox. George Hill. Yeah, they definitely needed a point guard.
So yeah, they were probably still going point guard here. This one's tough for me. I can't lie. What do you have? Let me ask you that.
I've got Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah.
Because I know Mitchell is a scorer, but he's 6'1". He can definitely transition into a point guard. He kind of already is with his ball handling skills.
Mm-hmm.
He just, it took the Kings about 4 or 5 years to develop with Fox to become a formidable playoff team. I feel like they'll do it quicker with Donovan Mitchell. And with Buddy Hield there, maybe he would have stayed. Actually, no, was he in the trade to New Orleans? I believe he was.
Who was?
Buddy Hield.
Yeah, but he didn't stay long, right?
No, he didn't stay long. No. I just feel like the Kings, if they can't get Fox, they're going to get Mitchell because of the same build.
Yeah.
Better shooting. More of a volume shooter. Not the greatest passer, but he'll develop into a better passer. Donovan Mitchell.
Okay. I could see Donovan Mitchell there. If I didn't, I would probably agree with you if I didn't already take him. I could see them going for like John Collins, maybe.
Really?
Maybe.
Because they have Zach Randolph.
I mean, like
Willie Cauley-Stein. Like, what are you going with this?
Was that Zach Randolph? That was like his 17th year in the league. Like,
I know he was on garbage time, sure, but like,
I don't know.
Was he on the bench?
That's a great question. If any of our viewers watch a lot of 2017, 2018 Sacramento Kings, please let us know. I didn't watch them at all, to be honest with you. Who did? Who would do that to themselves?
I didn't watch them that much.
I don't know. The Kings should be glad they got De'Aaron Fox at 5. Let's just say that.
So you're choosing John Collins.
I kind of dug myself into a hole.
You got Markelle Fultz in there too, if you want. I got Markelle Fultz in my top 20.
Well, yeah, top 20, but not there.
But like, here's the thing: you choose them for the right fit and the talent. They needed a point guard. What if they had a better, player development system than Philadelphia? What if they were able to figure out what was going on with this shooting form quicker? They didn't really have an injury history with players. They just drafted, busts every single season besides.
Well,
Cousins.
I mean, if you're dead set on a point guard, Derek White's an option, I suppose.
Derek
He didn't
White's
go
an
to
option.
Late first round until the Spurs, maybe?
Spurs.
He got drafted by. Yeah.
Spurs. Yeah. Yeah, he's my top 22 as well.
All right. Well, there we go.
You want to pick Derek White, number 5?
I don't think anybody wants to pick Derek White number 5. I think they just have to because they're just all over the place.
Just
right now on the board.
be your GM, man, and pick your player that you want to pick. Don't just go by my rules or not my rules, my strategy.
Give me Derek White.
Derek White, okay. Derek White, number 5. Derek White, okay. Number 6. This one went to, I believe, the Orlando Magic. Yes,
So
Orlando Magic.
Isaac.
Jonathan Isaac. Good player. Was injured quite a bit. But when on the floor, good player. I just feel like the Magic didn't know how to fully develop him.
Yeah.
He has a power forward build, but not the capabilities of a stretch four. Not as good as Lauri Markkanen.
We agree on one thing there. I also have Lauri Markkanen going here. Yeah.
He's going to the Orlando Magic, number 6. I feel like he can. I mean, his first year with Chicago was really good because they didn't have any sort of direction, and they gave Lauri Markkanen the ball a lot. And I think he'll do just as good or just as well as he did in Chicago if he played for Orlando instead. Plus, Orlando was kind of in this like weird, 8th seed or 9th seed team, if you remember. They had DJ Augustine, they had Nikola Vucevic, Evan Fournier was also on the team. Just a team that had really good role players but didn't have a star to really take them over the edge. I'm not saying Lauri Markkanen's a star. I feel like he's sort of like a borderline all-star, but they might have been maybe a 6th seed or a 5th seed or a 7th seed, compared to an 8th seed in the playoffs. So I think Lauri Markkanen's a perfect replacement from Jonathan Isaac.
Yeah, especially with the current version of him, how he's been hooping for sure. I mean, Lord only knows, like, if Orlando ends up taking him or wherever he goes, and maybe he kind of buds in that superstar a little sooner in his career than him going. Well, he got drafted by Minnesota, then ended up going to Chicago. But I'm all in on the Finnish guy. Finland, that's a country.
Hey, like it. Most improved player.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. I guess do you have anything to add? I know you're picking Lauri, but nah.
I mean, you pretty much said everything. That was pretty well said, Jeremy.
Okay. All right. Number 7. Gonna go with the Minnesota Timberwolves, but I believe they trade this pick away, right?
Yeah, because they take Lauri here, but they send. I don't know what the deal was, but they send him to Chicago.
Yeah. Not sure where exactly they sent him, but Minnesota, they already have Cat at the time. You had Jimmy Butler at the time as well.
Yeah, that minute. Wow.
You had Andrew Wiggins. So you had who was the point guard? Oh, was it? Who was the point guard? They made the AC that year.
Was there a point guard in that?
Tyus Jones? No.
They had. Oh, they still had Ricky Rubio technically, but
Ricky Rubio. That's who it was.
Tyus Jones and Chris Dunn.
Ricky Rubio was their point guard. So I feel like they just need another person down low. Give me Jared Allen, 7th overall pick.
Out of Texas, baby.
And I don't think that they're going to trade him because they needed size. Cat can't do well on the defensive end, down low in the paint. He's a stretch big. They need somebody who can do all the defensive duties. And Jared Allen, I know that Rudy Gobert is on the team now, and they have problems with that. It's because that Rudy Gobert is he can't really do anything other than that, and Jared Allen can actually do stuff more than Rudy Gobert.
He does more off the ball stuff.
He does more off the ball stuff. Yeah, he's also more athletic, and is a great alley-oop catch and dunk alley-oop guy with Ricky Rubio. Yeah.
Who are both on the Cavs now, when you think about it.
Yeah.
Isn't that nice? Yeah.
So, that's my pick.
I also had Jared Allen. Yeah.
Number 7?
I did.
Nice.
Yeah. Nice. I knew I wanted him pretty high because I feel like he was kind of like a gem in this draft that people don't really bring up that much. But I think Minnesota was going at least some sort of 4, stretch 5, some sort of big man all the way, and that made the most sense right there. So, give me the big man, and maybe him and Cat start a little 2 7-footer thing in Minnesota before Gobert gets there and turn it into something. Who knows?
Yeah. Also, like, Rudy Gobert doesn't have a big contract. Well, Jared Allen doesn't have a big contract, and
right.
That's a lot more doable for Minnesota. They're able to they're able to diversify their options, but a lot better than with what they have right now. So
they don't make one of the worst trades in NBA history.
Also, you got Jimmy Butler. They're definitely like a 6 or 5 seed team
in the West at that time too, which is impressive.
Yeah, and they were a 3rd seed before Butler went down. So, all right, number 8, New York Knicks pick. They chose Frank Ntilikina. Brian Ramos will go completely nuts and rant as long as he can about Frank Ntilikina and the fact that they picked a horrible draft pick. I'm gonna erase their fortunes and pick Kyle Kuzma, number 8.
Okay, yeah. I mean, Ntilikina was like more of a shooting guard than a point guard, I think, right?
I know, but Kyle Kuzma is kind of, to me, I know he's a power forward, but he's more offensive minded.
Yeah.
And I feel like with the fact that they didn't really have much of a squad, the New York Knicks, I feel like Kyle Kuzma would add a lot more offensive game. I wouldn't think they would make the playoffs, obviously, but they needed offense. I feel like Kyle Kuzma, with his first year on the Lakers and what he was able to do in his first year, will probably replicate just as well, if not better, in New York.
Yeah, because I think where he's going into New York, whoever the hell their scoring options are at that time, he doesn't have to be the guy off the bat, which I think is good because it kind of just lets him be like a spot-up shooter, contribute on offense still, like you said, but also gain valuable time with the ball and, trying to create points of his own, and all that sort of thing. I might agree with you on Kuzma there.
You like Kuzma?
I just might. I feel like there's somebody I haven't taken yet that I'm just completely missing. I don't know who it is.
Josh Hart was also a pick for me that I might have gone with because he's a Knicks player. He's playing really well with the Knicks right now, but I feel like they need more consistent offense, and Kyle Kuzma's a bit taller. So, and Josh Hart can only play well in a good system, I feel. Yeah, he's not like your.
Now it's good now, yeah.
Yeah, he's not like like Kyle Kuzma can still play well in any system. I feel offensively, and Josh Hart can't do that. He has more defensive tangibles than Kuzma does.
Well said.
And he's a good 3-point shooter too.
Yeah, he'd be stroking that thing for sure. I don't know why I said it like that. But
yeah, I don't know why.
I know exactly why I said it like that.
Okay. But yeah, who you going Kuzma?
I'll go Kuzma there.
All right.
I think him and New York's a good match too. Maybe his pregame fits would be even wilder.
Yeah, they would literally be all over New York media for sure.
Yes, they would love that.
Oh yeah. For number 9, I'm gonna go because Dallas at this time they were sort of like exiting the Dirk era. I believe this was like his last season, in the league, and this is just before they had, the rights to Luka Doncic in the next NBA draft. So I'm gonna think they sort of build for the future. I'm gonna go with Malik Monk.
Okay.
Malik Monk.
Yeah, I don't think they have much of anything at this point. So I think there's really not a position that
aging stars
makes sense. Yeah.
Throwaway role players. Malik Monk didn't do well in Charlotte because they had no idea what they were doing, as you mentioned earlier, because Michael Jordan sucks as an owner. However, I feel like you got Mark Cuban there. You got Rick Carlisle still there at the time. I feel like they would really coach Malik Monk into the player that he is, especially now with the Kings. And I feel like that would be a very formidable 3-and-D player alongside, and also streaky shooter, a better version of a J.R. Smith, or if you want to say Denver Nuggets J.R. Smith, alongside the upcoming Luka Doncic show in the next season. So, Malik Monk.
Okay. Yeah. I could definitely see where that goes. That makes sense. I guess for similar reasons, but a different player, I would take OG Anunoby here. Yeah.
I think it would be a nice secondary star to Luka.
As long as he still get Luka next year, yeah, I think that would be a lot of fun to watch too. Because, I mean, kind of like you said, I think OG Anunoby has already solidified himself as a pretty good 3-and-D guy with Toronto. Maybe it's just a good opportunity for him to go to Dallas, seeing that they pretty much have absolutely nothing here. I think one of their point guards was Darren Williams this year, and yes, it's that Darren Williams, which is just hilarious to think about.
Ouch. What happened? He just fell hard from grace.
Cav legend, I know. But yeah, I don't know. I think OG Anunoby thrived in Toronto because mainly when he got there, it was kind of like regime change was kind of happening there as well. Like, granted, Toronto was still good when that was happening, and Dallas is not nearly as good when that whole thing's happening there. But I think it'd be fun to see where he ends up, especially if they end up getting Luka and can build around those two guys. Maybe that's their second centerpiece, their second fiddle to Luka that they had been looking for, and they just didn't get it in this draft, and now here they are. Maybe.
All right. So you've picked OG Anunoby
out of Indiana
for the Dallas Mavericks.
The one and only.
Okay, number 10. I'm gonna go. So they picked Zach Collins, small forward / power forward, I believe, or is he a power forward / center?
I believe he's a 4-stretch-5.
4-stretch-5. Okay. So the Kings, they need to figure out. Okay, we're out of the DeMarcus Cousins era. We have Buddy Hield. We've got De'Aaron Fox. If they have De'Aaron Fox.
If they drafted him, yeah.
Yeah. But in my redraft, they have Donovan Mitchell, a much better option at the time. I think they could really use somebody that could be a great defensive-minded player. I know they have Buddy Hield, but you got Mitchell at the 1, Buddy Hield at the 2, Dillon Brooks at the 3.
Oh boy.
Dillon Brooks at the 3.
Oh boy.
Willie Cauley-Stein for the centerpiece. I guess you could throw in Zach Randolph in there or whatever, I guess. But Dillon Brooks, I know he's a late second rounder. He goes all the way up to top 10. Top 10 in the first. Not because he's a Houston Rocket. Okay, I like his play. He may get a little bit cocky, and that's when he starts sucking. But as long as he's coached by, who was it at the time? It wasn't. Well, Mike Malone wasn't there anymore.
Who, in Sacramento?
Yeah, it was Mike Malone for a time, and then
Mike Brown. No, he wasn't there.
No,
right?
It wasn't Mike Brown. Mike Brown was his first coach.
I don't even know who was in Sacramento at the time.
Again, I feel
who was
like
watching those teams? Someone tell us. I don't know.
Exactly, but I feel like Dillon Brooks would sort of come into his zone and grow there. And Mitchell, of course, would be having the rookie season that he has. I feel like the Kings would play well under those two picks. So Dillon Brooks is number 10 for me.
Coach of the Kings at that time was Dave Yeager.
Yeah, he probably wouldn't get his job next season or the season
Probably
after.
not.
And as time has predicted, he did not.
Narrator, he did not.
He did not.
I'm going to take John Collins here.
John Collins, okay.
I think that one still makes sense.
It does. I actually do agree with that. I mean, that's a good pick.
Yeah, we both had them taking a guard at 5 because I think the talent was more saturated in the guard position at that time. You want to make sure you got something good there. And they don't really have much of an identity right now, and you just kind of have to take best player off the board where you need someone like, I don't know, someone in the backcourt, someone in the front court. I feel like John Collins is one of the better options at that time, seeing the picks that already went off the board for me. But I think both John Collins or Dillon Brooks, which is surprising yet understandable at the same time. Like, I do understand what you're saying there.
You see why.
As long as he brings that, that defensive presence, that energy, that goes a long way for a group of young guys and a team looking to find its identity. If that's their identity is going to be a bunch of assholes led by a guy named Dillon Brooks, I mean, hey, maybe it carries them to light the beam sooner than they usually do. I don't know.
I feel like, yeah, exactly. No, I do. I really do. What's going on, guys? This is Jeremy Gretzer from Cut the Nets. So Brian Ramos wanted to do this as well. He is out with the meniscus and ACL tear. He's in recovery right now. We wish him well. But yeah, this is Brian Ramos's NBA 2017 Top 10 Redraft.
What's going on? It's Brian from Cut the Nets. I'm not going to let a torn ACL and torn meniscus completely stop me from being on Cut the Nets. And today we're going to be going over 2017 Top 10 draft class redo. So at number 10, I got Derek White from the Boston Celtics now. I think he's a solid guard that has been very versatile, and he's definitely on this Boston Celtics team, giving them a championship window, and he's a solid guard for them. At number 9, I got John Collins. Yeah, his Atlanta tenure ended a little too early and prematurely. Got traded to the Utah Jazz, but I'm still high on him. I think he's a very athletic power forward that still a good player, and his first couple years in the NBA were electric, playing next to Trae Young. At number 8, I got Kyle Kuzma. Ever since he left the Lakers and joined the Wizards, his game has tremendously increased, hence his little fat pay extension. So definitely liking Kyle Kuzma. At number 7, I got OG Anunoby. Obviously, a lot of teams value him as there's a lot of interest for him at the trade deadline, but Toronto had a bit of a more demanding asking price. Definitely a solid 2-3. Can play both sides of the ball well, so he's definitely top 7. At number 6, I got Jared Allen. Jared Allen was solid in both Brooklyn and Cleveland, but he's definitely stepped up his game more in Cleveland. Even though he didn't do too well in the playoffs in the first round against the Knicks. Sorry, Andy, but Jared Allen is still a top 6 player from this draft class just due to his physicality and his ability to rebound the ball while scoring inside. At number 5, I got Lauri Markkanen. Markkanen's been a solid player. Also, he's stepped up his game when he went to Utah, becoming more of a scorer, and Markkanen has just also been a solid player throughout his NBA career, making the top 5. At number 4, I got Bam Adebayo. Adebayo's a solid player for Miami. Definitely a part of that big 3 they got going on right now with him, Jimmy Butler, and Tyler Hero. Despite Bam being undersized at the center position, he's still solid and he's able to do good things offensively. At number 3, I got De'Aaron Fox. Fox is a solid point guard. He definitely stepped up big time this year, snapping that Kings playoff drought. So he's definitely one of the most athletic and faster point guards in the NBA. Kind of reminds me of prime Russell Westbrook, which is due to his athleticism and speed and his ball handling skills. At number 2, I got Donovan Mitchell. He's pretty much made the playoffs almost his whole NBA career. Got traded to Cleveland when I thought he was going home to the Knicks. And he was still solid. Donovan Mitchell is a bright star that's still continuing to grow. And that's why he's number 2 at this list. And he would be number 1 if it wasn't for the obvious Jason Tatum, went 3rd overall to the Boston Celtics. He's a superstar in the making. He's going to get paid soon, and despite not being able to get over the hump and win a finals with plenty of opportunities, Jason Tatum's still a superstar, hands down the best in this 2017 draft class. So that's it for me. Hopefully I'll be back live soon, but see you guys.
Thanks so much for watching. Please make sure to give that a like and subscribe and ring that notification bell so you never miss a Cut the Nets episode every single week. Thanks, Andy, for covering for Brian Ramos, who's suffering from his meniscus and ACL tear. Wish him a speedy recovery. And
Godspeed.
Yeah, Godspeed. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you guys next time.